How's it going, everybody? Jeff Slakey, continuing my candidate conversations, and it's another Shelton School Board conversation with sitting school board member in District 2, Keri Davidson. How you doing?
I'm good, but I will correct you on that.
Please, already.
Because it does get really confusing.
Yeah.
I'm actually Position 2, which is an at-large position.
Okay.
District 2 is a geographical area, so there is a District 1, District 2, District 3, but then there's two at-large positions. Position 1 and the one I'm running for, which is Position 2.
Well, let's talk about these different positions then and get right into it. I remember last year the school district was kind of looking at changing some of the district boundaries. They're looking at the enrollment numbers, and over these what will be 8 years for you on the school board, you've had to have seen just huge growth in the district. What are some of the things that you've noticed about the changes over these years?
Definitely pre-COVID, there were a continued growth in people coming into the school district, and I anticipate that there will continue to be growth in the whole school district with some of the developments that I'm hearing about. During COVID and right after COVID, you did see some of those enrollment numbers drop. We are starting to see some of that pick back up, but there's also people that realized, online options or even running start that's online. They're doing different things like that. So I think it's good to have different options, and I do anticipate that we will be looking at a lot more growth in our area as some of these housing developments potentially get underway.
What are some of the most fascinating aspects of the school board position over these years? Some things that you weren't entirely maybe 100% sure on as you got into the position, and has either really kind of gone, yes, I want to get in and learn all about these things, or some of the aspects of the job that you just didn't even know were out there?
Yes, yeah. I've really enjoyed being on the school board. My own dad had been on the school board for 12 years, and even though he told me different things about it, I don't think you really completely know until you get into the position. I've always loved working, alongside the community, the students, teachers, and the administrative staff on just the direction of where the school board is going. It has surprised me, school districts and everything that encompasses that, state and federal regulations, unions, budget, policies, all of that stuff can be a lot more complex than maybe you first think. And so it's really good to go to trainings to try to better understand all of those things. I find it all very interesting. I actually enjoy sitting in meetings and listening to all of this, but my favorite part of being on the school board is definitely watching students graduate and seeing, programs have impact on them, like the academies that were launched about 6 years ago at Shelton High School, and they've continued to develop and evolve and get better. And the community partnerships with, hearing from actual employers here in Shelton what they need and what they want to see, whether it's certifications that people can get in high school on computer programs, hands-on training, or, just the college technical career pathways that kids can get, and just seeing them get excited about being introduced to those things, or being able to make a decision like, I've been introduced and I don't like that, so
right.
You're going to make a different direction. I think all of that's been pretty exciting.
I've been watching the school board meetings, and while I'll say it seems as though everybody's intent is to the betterment of the child and the results for the children in the school system, there's a lot of different ways to get there.
Yes.
How have you and your fellow board members, you especially, been able to maybe lean into some of the areas where you perhaps disagree with the folks who speak at the meetings, and give an opportunity to learn their side, and hopefully have an opportunity for them to learn what your decision-making process is?
Yes, and the traditional school board meetings can be a tough setting, because if somebody's not used to that, a person comes up to the podium and they do their public comment, and they just get 3 minutes to speak, and that's not a time where we can have a back and forth dialogue.
Right.
So a lot of times they might feel like the 5-person board, isn't responding to them, and that's definitely not what we want people to think. We really, all 5 of us, are listening. And I've been on the board for 8 years, so the board members have changed over the years, but we've always had people that are invested in helping students ultimately. And we really do value parents' concerns, community members' concerns. It's wonderful when they're respectful about it, but to be honest, people get passionate about things, and I can understand that. I've got kids in school, and when something isn't going right and you don't feel like that's lining up with what you want for your child, I can understand the passion and anger that can go with that. I really do value hearing from the community, and it can be whether it's emails or talking before or after the board meeting, just reaching out to hear what those concerns are. It doesn't mean that I agree or disagree, and as a board, you're still just one of 5 members.
Yeah.
So you have to discuss it with everybody, and there are times, and the public doesn't always see this either, when somebody doesn't agree. But as a board member, you are the board. So if a vote goes a certain way, you are supporting a position that goes that way, even if you personally may not have agreed with that as well. And that is difficult. That's one of the harder things, I think, as a school board member, is that, you have to, it is a majority decision, and depending on where you're at with that, I always have felt like I work well with others, and try to listen and be respectful to board members or community members, whoever's coming in, because we do need to hear. It is a reflection of the community. We still do have to follow state and federal laws as they apply to the school district. So there are some things that just, you may have to advocate in different avenues versus with the school board for things like that. But it's still good to hear. And
as you're talking about this, I'm kind of thinking about the school board in sort of a middle management situation. So you have OSPI and the state there with their directives, and you have the folks under you offering their suggestions. So you guys are kind of sometimes stuck between
and state legislators, the House, members are different, legislators that may be able to affect the state law.
Right.
But you still have to have people that are giving their stories and sharing what's going on with that. So it's all of it ties together, and it's always good to have open communication. It is one thing that I do think, the school district and me as a school board member, I will always be working on just having better avenues of communication.
Answer this question for me. A vote from Keri on the school board is a vote for blank.
I would say it's a vote for students.
Okay.
A vote for student achievement or student opportunities. That's what I am looking for. That's what I've been in this since the start. Is I grew up in Shelton and graduated from Shelton High School myself, came back to raise a family here, and my 2 daughters, when I first got on the school board, were in the 1st grade and kindergarten. Now they're both at Shelton High School, which is just hard to believe. Feels like it happens in a blink of an eye. But just being from this community, I've always, just my friends' children, my children, it's been the most exciting thing for me each year to see people graduate that I know. And it really is about the kids and what we can bring to them in our community, what resources that we have. And we have a wonderful, supportive community. I mean, I see that every year in the scholarships that are given out, or the internships, the opportunities that people give our students has been amazing. And the support for different things that go on in the school has been really amazing too. But that's at the center for what this is for me, is for students to graduate and have something that they are excited to move on to, and to be a good member of either staying here in Shelton as a citizen here or wherever they go on.
You have signs. We see the signs.
I
do you have a website, or you have a Facebook page? Or?
I don't.
Okay.
I did start a Facebook page years ago, but I have not kept it up. I don't have a current website, so that just I've been busy being a mom and working full time. So no, I don't have anything like that. But people are welcome to email my current school board email address or communicate with me through my personal email, which is listed on the candidate site and all of the candidate information that's out there.
Good, very good. Well, again, just more candidate conversations, and opportunity to kind of get out there and learn more about the candidates. We did talk, it was 8 years ago, amazing to think, ran unopposed last time, and now we're back at it here. Keri Davidson running once again in the Shelton School Board. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.